All right. Hi, everyone.
Give intro.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with JayySnow. Say hey, JayySnow.
Hi.
So JayySnow, if you don't already subscribe to her, she is at JayySnow, SNOWYT, on YouTube. She's a spiritual guide, and she's also my wife. And I'm going through a transition. I have a birthday coming up this week. It's my birthday week. I'm approaching 100 episodes of my Edition with Addy Snowden podcast and have recently pivoted to doing a daily music series. And based on the views, based on the feedback that I'm getting from you guys in terms of like likes and subscribes, you guys, I'm feeling like I need to move away from yapping and talking in my podcast and doing more with music, writing songs on live, playing live music. So JayySnow has an amazing deck collection, and I want to tell her why I chose the decks. So right now, she has the Major Arcana deck, the Art Nouveau deck. That's what it's called, right? And I picked this one because it has art in it. Because this is about, should I focus on my musical craft of art or the art of speaking? Like, it's all creative. There's no one that's better than the other, but I thought that art could give me the right messages. And then I also, in similar, I got the Klimt Tarot. Klimt is one of Jalene's favorite artists, and he's an artist. So, looking for the wisdom of the artist here. Ganesha, the Whispers of Lord Ganesha. I love this deck because I love elephants. And also I love success. And because this is about the success of my podcast, and not even podcasting, start calling it a YouTube channel. That's why I want Ganesha's POV. And also Goddess power, of course, because we're woman-centered here. We want to learn about what the mother gods are saying.
Oh, look at the goddess book in Ganesha.
And then this is the queer tarot because I'm queer, we're all queer. I got this for Jalene's, was it anniversary or 2-year anniversary? And it was like such a last minute thing, but I really like this deck and I haven't seen her use it yet. I don't even know what the cards look like.
Oh, they're pretty.
So I, these, I feel like I resonate with these decks, especially in terms of the future of my channel. I was updating the SEO on my channel and it was talking about I could be branding more as LGBT, because that's, like there's just, so both of us are so interesting. There's so many different parts of our life we could focus on. And sometimes I just need direction, and that's why I call on my beautiful wife and wise sage, JayySnow YT. Again, go follow her, subscribe to her, because she does, at least for now, still offer, what do you call them? Spiritual guide sessions, or yes, spiritual guide sessions. She does have them available. So, yeah, this is a rare opportunity for you to see her in action. I didn't have to beg her to get on live, but I am very much behind encouraging her to do a reading live. So this is a very special video. You never know when you're going to see it again. So this could be a once in a lifetime moment. And featuring Oya, our beautiful cat who loves to come into view, into the screen. So, all right, so that's what we're talking about today, and I'm ready when you are. That's the intro.
Okay, let's invoke divine God, the Holy Mother of my Father.
I'm so excited. Guess I can turn the camera to the table. That's a good shot. Oh, love that I can turn this here. Okay, great. Perfect.
Looks good. What's your question? Think about what you want to know.
Is it okay if it's a yes or no question?
Mm-hmm.
Should I focus my YouTube channel on music and let the magician or daddy go? Or the former podcast format go?
Should pay like frequency.
The energy is out. Bustling. Find out frequency. All right. I'll finish cleaning that up. What frequency do you think would be? I feel like Abundance Gate would be nice.
Mm-hmm. Whatever is good.
Excellent idea.
So first things first, it's like this is the first card that was drawn was the Tower.
Critical change.
Critical change. And it's already underway. It's in the past position, so it's already happened. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And I feel like the critical change is it's coming up, so it's part of the past. Like I think the worst of it is already over, but ripples will continue to happen of radical change. And I think the Knave of Swords to me is like, you know, he's very like he's suited up and ready for armor, and it's like, is there even a battle? You know? It's like these colors kind of make me think like he's got to get to the battle before, you know what I mean? And he's just armored up, and it's just he's really ready, but maybe a little over prepared, you know. And I think it's kind of like, you know, he can take his time a little bit more. He's really serious, and I think it is just like showing, especially when we're talking about a YouTube, it's like showing the different colors of you. You know what I mean? Like these 3 color scenes really stand out to me, you know? And it's like your true colors, and you're not one dimensional. I don't think there's one thing you ever have to focus completely and totally on. I think it's sharing all of these different parts of you. That's what is at present. You know what I mean? And you're understanding and learning those parts for yourself. And I think that's part of the reason the armor's there, but it's the experience. And then this is also like thinking wise, you know what I mean? So it's like you kind of have a lot going on because you're learning so much. You're getting ready to experience so much. The Knave of Swords is ready to get to that battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with the 4 of Cups in the future, it makes me think don't, especially in reverse, it's like, don't be passive. I think it's don't rush, but also don't be passive, and don't throw the fun away. You know? I think about cups full and turned over, they're empty. You know what I mean? And it's like 4 full cups where you're feeling content and not, and it's like it's less about what you change your channel to and more about making sure you enjoy, don't rush through, and see what's going on around before you prepare, kind of, you know. And then with the Ace of Cups, it makes me think again like a past position, but I think it's like a mirror into the other side. With the Ace of Cups, it's like remembering what you love is so valuable. You know what I mean? And I think it's easy to turn what we love into something stressful or grievous. You know what I mean? Instead of looking forward to this beautiful rainbow, because it's like, look at all of this beauty going on behind her, and she's focused on these spilled cups. You know, doesn't even, there's whatever was in these 3, she's got 2 still full right here, not even paying attention to that. All she's focused on is those spilled cups. You know. So I feel like in the present position with both of these, it's like, just make sure you're just being really present, you know, and enjoying each part. It's like, look at the colors here and the colors here. It's like tarot magic right there. You know what I mean? It's like, look at the beauty in front of you, the beauty of your creativity, the beauty that comes from how you're living, and everything, every facet of your life is at play here, you know? And you don't want to focus too much on, I don't think, any one thing. That's part of the success of the channel, is just movement through these processes, these periods, you know? And then with the future, with the 10 of Pentacles, it's like he's meditating, they're in this garden talking about money, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just kind of, there's a huge abundance for what is to come from your life experience. And I think it's about capturing that makes your YouTube prosper. And if music is what is making you do that, then I think it's important to focus and find what feels good in your creative process, you know, because that's what leads you to that Ten of Pentacles moment, you know. And I think with this, it's like Four of Cups is usually kind of like contentment and rest and sometimes depression, but this is the opposite of that, you know what I mean? It's like not being focused on anything negative, just knowing it's all going to work out. It's all going to be good, you know? Then with the Magician, you're very much in control and you have access to everything, you know? Because I think the truth is there's a reality where podcast takes off and is multi-million-dollar, and there's a reality where you're a multi-million-dollar musician. It's all in your hands and it's all what you decide you want to do, you know? Ganesha's calling to think about and consider priorities, you know, which priorities change and they just require reflection here, you know. And then Promise of the Future kind of goes to me with Ten of Pentacles, because it's like we always hope this is the promise of the future, and the future is promising, you know what I mean? But I think it's through moving each leg of your creative arm and channeling it. I hate to be but you can't do anything wrong, you know? This is part of the creative process, and let's read the moon.
Okay.
But I will say this, the moon is similar to the Knave of Swords in that she's got a very protective energy and stance here, you know, and coldness comes to mind. Coldness and emotions, Mama Kila. And it's like coldness or being covered and wanting to feel protected and stuff. And I think that's got to come off, you know. I think that's got to come off, and you've got to come into this, you know, just a more open stance, no protection, just kind of sharing your art, you know. And even coming back here, like, look at these pants she's got on. It doesn't match the shirt, like, you know, that's part of her beauty in the queer community. You know what I mean? Yeah. That person exists. Yeah. You know. And then let's read Mama Kila. Empowerment message. Mama Kila, the Incan goddess of the moon, presides over the power cycles and seasons. The moon rules the night sky, returning full 13 times in a year. The ancients marked time by the moon to know when to plant, when to harvest, when to store food, and when to celebrate fertility. Right now, you're invited to see what's familiar and decide what you need to improve on or leave things as they are. The answer to your inquiry can be found in the timing of things, and cycle you're in. You can apply the idea of natural cycles to relationships, creative projects, personal growth, and more. If you're honest with yourself, you will see there is no way to control these cycles, only to use the creative energy they offer to help you. If your relationship is unclear yet brimming with potential, you might turn to a new moon energy that shows up in the spring cycle of life. In that case, you just need to allow the relationship to grow naturally and be clear in your intentions. When your outer world seems to be slowing down, with obstacles rising up and temporarily blocking your every move, do not put up a resistance. Instead, take advantage of the need to rest and recalibrate your intentions as you wait for the cycle to change. No matter what, like the cycles of the moon, there is divine order in everything that is happening in your life right now. Once you know this, the goddess Mama Kila welcomes you to her divine moon dance of co-creation. Isn't that like so? I tarot magic right there. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, moving through these colors. That's just like moving through these cycles. You know what I mean? And the truth is, every one of these makes up the rainbow, and that's what people love. You know what I mean? This guy is prepared for battle, but not until he's been through all of these stages of battle, including getting there. Saying it's the wrong place, attack, you know what I mean? All of the parts of battle. It's all cycles of life. And it's like, there is no one thing that you have to focus on. One thing, every card almost in this reading is kind of busy. It has a lot going on. And I think that's what makes social media and influencer magic happen.
Yeah.
You know, they say they're just doing one thing, but they're doing so many other things. Like even those makeup influencers, they're telling us all their personal business while they put that makeup on, all kinds of story times and stuff. You know. Any questions until we do the charms? Are you ready for the charms?
No questions at this point. I think it's been really clear so far. You've been communicating really clear. I wasn't expecting you to put the cards up.
Oh, well, I can leave them in the corner.
And that's okay. You do you.
I just moved them so that we can have clear for the charms. Okay. What are you thinking about your question? And let me know your question too.
Okay. What are the colors of the rainbow for my channel? You know what I mean? Like, what areas, like I've tapped into music recently, but there are other areas too, you know, so I kind of want the charms to tell me, like, what parts of myself should I bring more of to the channel that may not be top of mind for me?
That's a good question.
I knew that ring was going to come.
I know that ring is, that ring, I wish, I feel like you, sexiness, live your dream. So I feel like it's like living in your dream is what brings it. Inspiring hope in other people. Recognizing that you're a star and whatever you wish. It's just, it could just be trying stuff. You know what I mean?
It makes me think of Avery. She just be doing random stuff.
That's what you just do, random stuff. Pie, maybe pie eating, I don't know. PI, private investigating.
Hey, that's math, boo. Pie.
Oh, math. Yeah, you're a math. What was that? A math babe? Addie's a math babe. More with the ocean, the sea,
and boating.
That's it. Water sports. That's why I want that GoPro. We gotta share those water sports.
For sure.
When next time we go snorkeling, like that's cool. People don't get to do that. Yeah. Beauty. This makes me think of outfits of the day.
Yes, outfit of the day for sure.
Intelligence, again with pie and math. Intelligence, beauty,
and the animals.
And
that's
your sea life.
Starfish.
Yes. So much of me is made from what I learned from you. You'll be happy with me like a hand. Hold on. LOL. So much of me is made from what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. So I think you can really get to people emotionally.
Makes me think of family members.
And then these axes, it's like I think there's gonna be several more chops where it's like I ain't doing that anymore. You know what I mean? I think about part of those food videos, everybody loves to watch them in anticipation, are they gonna like it? You know what I mean? And it's like, I think it's so much in like the learning and the process and scrapping and cutting and just going through life. Yeah. And I think about going through life like knocking the weeds down and touching and, you know, if you have an axe, when you don't have an axe, you don't think of anything that you want to go out there and chop. But if you find yourself with an ox, your first thought is there something I could go chop around here? You know, and I think that is symbolic of like just going out and you've got an axe in your hand. So just go find some stuff to chop around on. And I think, trailblazing. And I think into trailblazing rings, I don't remember what this stone is. I wish I did. If anybody can identify that stone, let me know in the chat. But commitment.
Yeah.
Commitment. This was about to roll off. It's your birthday. And then August, the month of August.
That's what it says?
Yeah, August.
Huh.
So,
like, don't make a rash decision until August.
Something like that very much could be it. Or if it's like you're going to find out about something that is happening in August, that's a really huge deal.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, hold from now until August, like you said.
Wow. In the room.
Oh, there's two. This one is, I think, that gift one. And that was in September. And then this one, I think, is like the branch one. If you go get my little correspondences book.
What does it look like?
It's big and orange. And says correspondences. This one. A little bit after November. Is that Sagittarius? Defense, emotions, control, protection, and purity. And I feel like it's like when we get emotional, our first thing to do is like protect ourselves, but we don't have to be so anticipatory of negativity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or anything, but while also accepting, like, while it is absolutely going to happen, we're not always going to be as impacted by it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The first person calling you an awful, whatever awful, ugly name is jarring and hurtful and da-da-da-da-da. But yeah, after about 700 other people call you that, it just loses impact. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't let fear, I don't think that you need to, I feel like hope is interesting because I don't feel like you need to have hope. You need to have faith in knowing that you inspire others to have hope. Move mm-hmm. past that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Angel ritual. And don't be too reactive because of emotions. Mm-hmm. And then Gebo is, like I said, gift, balance, generosity, relationships. So I think September is some type of gift that will help you in your YouTube channel.
Awesome. Something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That was a really good reading. I really appreciate you doing that reading. I had a feeling that I feel like that's something that every artist goes through.
For sure.
They're like, should I keep doing this? Should I change to that? And I love the message of you don't have to pick one thing. Mm-hmm. And it's hard, you know, because with titles and SEO, they want, you know, there's incentive for that, you know what I mean? Where it's like just easier to niche down. But that's not how life works, and that's not how people are.
Right.
So I appreciate that reminder that I don't need to, like, this is going to be the podcast this week. You know, I'm going to take this audio and upload it, you know, and like the podcast doesn't have to look
one way.
It's just an audio experience, and that's what the podcast is. Because it is, especially approaching 100, like that is the time where, like, people, when I was first starting my podcast, they'd be like, you know, you need to get to like 100 episodes before you even see anything, you know what I mean, happen. And I do think there's something magical about that number that, like, of course I want to quit right before I reach it, you know what I mean? And if I treat, it doesn't matter what the medium is, if I just move to music and treat it like I treat the podcast, I'm going to be sick of that too.
Exactly. Because it's not the podcast, it's the cycle before you do the podcast that doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, waking up at whatever time, and that keeping that nail and bone structure just doesn't work. And I don't think it works for anybody, including major networks. Netflix don't have one type of show, you know? I think about even NPR don't have one type of show, you know? And even NPR had like to do Tiny Desk. They had years and years and years of successful Tiny Desk without including artists of color, right? And then now they include an artist. They couldn't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not even getting into whatever random politics or reasons that they have for that. They can't do that anymore and still have success. You know what I mean? That cycle's over.
Yeah.
The cycle now calls for more attention all around.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate this, and I feel like I never would have thought, like, I never would have woken up this morning and been like, you know what the podcast is going to be today? Me getting a tarot reading from JayySnow. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm glad that this worked out.
Me too.
I really appreciate it, because you know how I always look for different ways for us to come together and, like, while still retaining our own individual craft, but like there's a way to be collaborative if you just think about it.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. For sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that reading. You're the best. You're the best. So subscribe, follow, subscribe to @JayySnowYT. That's how you can get more of her tarot content, her spiritual guide content, and of course subscribe to me, Edition with Addy. Again, I'm going live every day until I reach 500 subscribers. So thanks for joining me.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye.